I'm here with Dr. Callender, and I'm just going to ask him a couple questions. First is, what prior experience do you have in the aviation field before you became a professor?
I had worked as a flight test engineer for the United States Army, contracted by another company. It went by a couple names, so it's just a contracting company that sent me to Fort Rucker, Alabama, to do flight testing for the Army.
All right, awesome. So, what was one of the biggest lessons that you learned while you were working?
That you prepare for a job, but you do a lot more than what you think you'll be doing. So what I'm talking about is I was an engineer. I was a flight test engineer, but probably 80 to 85% of my job was writing and editing papers and reports, which is not what I had really wanted to do, but that was just a part of the job. So writing, the ability and the necessity of writing and doing it well was highlighted for me in that position.
Awesome. So, what was one thing that helped you decide to be a professor?
It really was just a God-given call to teach that I found probably in 98, 99 time frame when I first started teaching an adult Sunday school class at my local church as an early 20s adult. Um, I felt the desire and the ability to teach, and also I really enjoyed the subject matter. Mathematics and physics are things that I really enjoy, especially applied to aviation. So just a strong desire and ability to do it.
Awesome. What is your specialization in in what's the concentration?
So my concentration that I coordinate here is aerospace technology. So technology is the name of the concentration, and my specialties are low-speed aerodynamics, performance flight testing, and there are other things that I have developed over the years that I'm uncomfortable with certain terms. There are certain things that I've focused on, like force balance design for wind tunnels or water tunnels. I've done some more recently aeroacoustics, which is definitely not an area of expertise of mine, but I'm developing that area, doing research in that area. I'm working in unmanned systems a little bit. Some of the research that I do fits really well with drones and our UAS operations department today. Have done drag reduction studies, currently doing drag reduction studies for ground vehicles, like large 18-wheel vehicles on the roads.
Awesome. So, one question about like researching and whatnot. How does that? Where would you take that once if you research a subject? What would you do with that? Would you just present it in front of the body?
The typical way to communicate research findings. So here locally in the department, we had our first research, what we call a research seminar this semester, and we will hope to have more of those in the future so you can disseminate it amongst your peers in the department. Beyond that, the typical way to disseminate information is to write either an abstract or a full paper, submit it to a conference or a journal or both, and if it's accepted at one or the other of those, you go and present it. So you go to the conference, which is a conference within your industry, and many of your peers are there, and you make a presentation at different conference workshop times. If it gets into a journal, then that's a way to communicate it in writing, to disseminate it that way. And there are other ways you could probably do that are less formal, but that's the primary formal way to communicate your research findings.
Awesome. What classes are you currently teaching?
This semester I have theory of flight. I have one section of that, the honors section. I have fundamentals of aerodynamics, which is Aero 3440, and then aircraft performance, Aero 4440. I also am leading students through research in a course called Problems in Aerospace, Aero 4071, and I do that one every semester.
All right. Since you're in your transition from being an employee to a professor, has your perception of like the aerospace industry changed at all?
From flight test engineer to now here at MTSU.
From being a worker and then teaching.
And I don't know that my perspectives have changed necessarily. I mean, the jobs are definitely different, but I really don't know that my perception of the aviation industry has changed necessarily.
All right, just a question. All right, do you have any advice for students that are soon to be employees, or just students in general?
I do. So one piece of advice, I mean, there were many, and the video could go on for way longer than 5 minutes and 16 seconds that we're at now, but I'll give you one. And that is, while you're here at MTSU, broaden your education foundation. What concentration are you
I'm
at?
a flight dispatch.
Flight dispatch. So you're studying one thing, right? So your education is leading you down the path to get a piece of plastic that you carry in your wallet that allows you to do one job. Okay. So if anything were to go wrong in that one area, let's say, and then you couldn't use that, then your prep in that field may not be applicable anywhere else. So what I would recommend everybody doing, and everybody in my concentration, this is how I regularly advise them. It's a matter of course for me to do this, but I would apply it to everybody. Is broad, so you are more prepared when you leave here than you would be if you just did the minimum in your particular chosen field. So you're here to learn. You're not just here to prep for a job. That's a big part of it. But education is not just job prep. It's to expand your mind, right? To prepare you mentally. And so do that. Take advantage of it. We have an awesome opportunity, especially in this country, for education, and we really take it for granted in most cases. We just think, I deserve this. Well, we don't. Make the most of it while you've got it, because the prep you do now, you really can't get this time back. It will be harder to get this type of foundational preparation later in life. You need to build the foundation strong now and build it wide, man. Go beyond dispatch, choose something else to study just to expand you so you can build upon it in the future.
Thank you very much. That's all I've got. Again, this is Dr. Callender. Have a nice day.